Part 1. White Clouds. Horsebow Moon. Rumors of a Reaper. As cold air begins to creep in from the north of Fargus, Fodlan welcomes the riches of fall. The women spend their days reaping the golden fields, gratefully embracing the bounty the goddess has once again provided. The men venture into the wilds with horsebows and empty sacks ready to be filled with game.
Ah, Professor. Always a pleasure to see you. I wonder, might you have a moment to chat? Come now. You have no need to be on guard. I'd never cause you harm. You're far too valuable a specimen, well, that is to say, too valuable a member of the Academy staff. Indeed, the further my crest research progresses, the closer you come to learning the truth of your heritage. Is it not so? When I learned you bore the lost crest, the very crest of flames itself, I set about learning everything I could about your past. What was the origin of your bloodline? How have the events of your life been shaped by your lineage? I became somewhat obsessed, I must admit. Nothing so crass as an investigation. No, I researched. I spoke to mercenaries whom you've worked with in the past to learn about your life before the Academy. Of course, I also contacted Gerald and his mercenary friends. Your father does keep rather interesting company. I'm excited to share with you what I learned, but I do ask that you correct me if I am mistaken on any account. The story begins with Gerald serving as captain of the Knights of Seros. There was a woman at the monastery with whom Gerald was quite close. At first, it seemed obvious this mystery woman was your mother. Alas, that cannot be the case. The timing is all wrong. As it was told to me, the woman in question passed away shortly before Gerald left the monastery. Yet your birth occurred sometime later, while Gerald was taking work as a mercenary. This, of course, presumes your age is accurately reported. If you were born sooner, well, the story would be quite different, would it not? Oh, I am aware. You too were certainly enigmatic as far as mercenaries go. For example, Gerald never once spoke of his time serving as captain of the Knights. That's quite a secret to keep for all those years. In the end, your old acquaintances had little definitive to say about either of you. However, they all agreed on one thing. Your father and yourself were a strong pair, warriors to be respected and feared. You in particular. In fact, many came to know you as the Ashen Demon. They say you would destroy your enemies without a hint of emotion on your face. The mercenaries I spoke to revered you as a living legend of sorts. So, that is what I learned. And I admit, it is barely more than I knew before. The next step in my research is to ask your blood for answers, and hope that it is more forthcoming than your past acquaintances.
As I believe you are already aware, Sedith's younger sister Flayn has gone missing. At present, all we know for certain is that she has not left Garreg Mach.
Flayn is not the type of person to just wander off on her own without telling me where she is going. We have searched the monastery thoroughly, but have found nothing. I am now mobilizing the knights to begin searching the town. Troubling rumors have been running rampant lately. I do not wish to consider the worst, but
there are rumors of someone prowling the streets and attacking innocents night after night. The Knights have investigated the matter. They have not discovered any remains, nor have they found any concrete evidence.
the people are panicked. They all insist someone called the Death Knight is coming to claim their souls with his blade. There is no way she could have escaped unscathed if she were captured by such a fiend. Where is she?
Seteth, recall that impatience begets error. Please do your best to calm yourself. I think of your sister as family as well. You know that. You have my support. We will devote ourselves fully, mind, body, and soul, to recovering her. Professor, your mission for this month is to help find Flayn. The Knights have the town covered, so I ask that you focus your efforts on searching the monastery again. We do not have time to waste. You have your orders.
Flayn has disappeared? Seteth must be beside himself.
So, finding little Flayn is our mission for this moon? Leave it to me, Professor. Chasing after girls is my specialty.
Sylvain, even you must agree that now isn't the time for jokes.
I hope Flayn is okay. I've heard rumors about some Death Knight running around town.
Sounds intriguing. I have been hoping to cross blades with him.
Felix, please consider how Seteth must be feeling right now.
In any case, we must start our search at once. Every moment matters. On your order, Professor, let's try to collect as much information as we can.
I'm on the lookout for suspicious individuals. The only place I've yet to check is the library. As you wish. Candlelight. And who is that? No, it isn't. Impossible.
Professor, Dedu, what are you up to at this hour?
Your Highness, my apologies.
Oh, none necessary. I'm sorry for startling you. I was just doing some research. But I'm just about finished. I didn't realize how late it had gotten. We'd better head back to our quarters, Dedu. Until tomorrow, Professor.
A most unusual man. Whatever could he have been looking for so late at night? That book is quite askew. He must have rushed to put it back upon the shelf. It seems to be a record of donations from nobility. Arundel. That's not a name I know. But look at that. This Arundel gave quite a sum each year. That is, until the year 1174. He must have died or fallen to financial woe. I can't imagine what this has to do with Flayn.
Welcome, Professor. This is the first time I have welcomed you here, is it not? There is no need to be nervous. Please, come closer. When you speak with me here in this room, you are not speaking with the Archbishop, but with Rhea. It's just me. Such a sweet child. My apologies. I should not be treating you like a child. As Gerald's kin, somehow you don't seem at all a stranger to me. Speaking of Gerald, may I ask if he ever spoke of me to you? Is that so? Unfortunately, I am unable to believe that such words fell from Gerald's lips. I want you to know that you are free to speak candidly. There is no need to spare me from the truth, however harsh it may be. Since you are here, shall I tell you about the Gerald that I knew? By the look of it, you haven't heard much about his time at the monastery, have you? When I first met Gerald, he was quite young. Why, he could not even grow a full beard at that point. On one fateful occasion, the band of mercenaries he belonged to fought alongside the Knights of Seiros. I was traveling with the Knights at the time, and Gerald jumped in front of an attack meant for me. He was gravely wounded, on the verge of death. I tended to his wounds in a desperate attempt to save his life. Thankfully, my efforts were not in vain. Gerald managed to escape a seemingly certain death. I made arrangements for him to receive further care at Garrick Mach. The moment he was deemed fully recovered, I invited him to join the Knights. Well, it is not a story I have often repeated. Even at the monastery, there are not many who know that. I tell you this because, to me, you are the child of the one who saved my life all those years ago. And also... Never mind. It is nothing. I simply wanted to say that I trust you. By coming to visit with me today, you have... well... suffice it to say that my day is brighter than it otherwise would have been. I thank you for that.
Professor? Please take my apologies. I lost time while I was training. There are not many chances for real fighting here. My body is more weak than it was. Weaker, I mean. I will keep training now. I hope your night is good. I need to have more training. There are things that I have not done yet. Things that have to be done. For the future. I have to try with hardness. Training, studying, socializing. I will not always be having time to do those things. And speaking the language of Fodlan, I worry I will never be doing it just right. Why? Because the position of Bridget is weak. Fodlan and Dagda are big. Bridget is a small island in the middle of them. Bridget has great beauty, but little power. We will not survive unless we get more strength. I will lead Bridget, and so I have responsibility. I have to have more strength than anyone. Yes, that is why I have to give it my best try. I am an ally of everyone, and I have belonging at the Officers' Academy. That is also why I try with hardness. You can always be counting on me. But you should know that one of these days will be when I return to Bridget. Before that day, do not try stopping me from trying. And please, keep watching over me. With you, I can try with more hardness than I could alone.
Hey, Professor. The students seem to like you. And you're not modest about it. I like that. Still, I can't deny that you've got skills. It's a little strange, to be completely honest. I had my doubts, but they were right to make you a professor. I'd be suspicious of their true intentions, if I were you. But what's it matter? Seems like it turned out just fine for you. I'll admit, it's unbelievable that you used to be a mercenary. I was a merc before coming here, but I can't imagine pulling off your fancy tactician act. I freeze up near royals and nobles. I was. My family had nothing when I was growing up. There were too many mouths to feed, so I left. Joined up with some mercs for the pay. The work suited me, but I never liked having to bow and scrape to our noble employers. And that's what I like about being a knight. I get to punch all the nobles I want. I'm joking. But the knights do make a good business partner. I don't believe in the Church of Seros. It makes me a bit of an anomaly among the knights. Rhea took me in, so I became a knight to repay my debt to her. I may be a knight, but it still feels like I'm doing the same things I did as a merc. Who knows, though? Maybe you and I will end up working together. Us knights are a pretty tough crew. I'm guessing you'd run circles around us, though. I'm interested to see where your path leads you.
Hey, Sylvain.
What's up, Ash?
But I did want to thank you for...
That...
No, really, I insist. You really set a model for my training.
Again with the stud. You're so stubborn you make Ingrid and His Highness. My advice on the whole thing is to just fall. If someone's in trouble, I help them. Doesn't matter if the person is an ugly old man.
So you're saying...
Everybody's the same, deep down.
Ah.
What? You're...
No, you're actually a much better person than I thought.
Was that a compliment?
Oh, sorry. I was just really impressed by what to jump in and help someone without...
How did you say that with us? Come on, Ash. You're an honest and overall great guy. You'll be an Of course, people like you need to
Huh?
Remember when I said I didn't need any thanks? Well, I didn't say anything. There's a girl, and we had a misunderstanding about who was allowed to date who, so I need to hang out in your room until everything calms down. Should only be a day. Or 2. Tops.
Sylvain?
Come on, Ash. Remember, if someone's in trouble...
Oh, fine. Since you helped me...
All right, I knew I could...
He really would be a great person, if he could just stop all the scandal.
Shamir, you are training away from the ground of training.
Ah, Petra. Well, it looks like it might rain.
I have understanding. Rain training can cause unhealthiness. Can I give you a question now?
Sure.
You come from Dagda, I think. Why are you working at the monastery?
You can tell I'm from Dagda? Oh, I suppose Bridget is our neighbor. As for why I work here, that's simple. I work to live. Rhea took me in when I had nowhere else to go. I'm here to repay my debt. I don't plan to return to Dagda anytime soon.
But Fodlan is an enemy for you, right? Are you feeling okay about that?
The only ones I've fought in person are the Imperial Army. I carry no ill will toward anyone else.
I have gratitude for your answering. You have given me understanding.
How about you? Do you hate them? The Empire is your father's enemy, no? And it's Dagda's fault that Bridget got pulled into the war at all. So, do you hate Dagda? Or do you see that as none of your concern?
The fault is not of Dagda. My father made his own choice to be joining the war. I cannot say I have no hatred for the Empire, but I do not have any for Edelgard. When I came here, she was always helping me.
Makes sense. You can hate a country without hating its people.
You speak with such honesty. It is very amazing.
I'm not that special. I just don't let emotions get in my way.
Oh, it's you, Professor. Since you are here, I have a favor to ask. Your Highness, you've returned.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Dedu. I'm glad you're here as well, Professor. I want you both to hear this. Dedu is already aware, but you should know there's been an uprising in the Dusker region, in the western part of the kingdom. Dedu, would you like me to explain?
No, it should be me. I am from Dusker. It lies just beyond the mountains on the northwestern border of Fargus. But the people of Dusker no longer live there. The land was burned to ashes by the army of Fargus. All of the people were slaughtered. This was our punishment for the crime of regicide. The barren expanse that was once Dusker is now controlled by a kingdom noble. But Dusker survivors, such as myself, still exist outside the region. This uprising is most likely the work of such survivors, seeking to reclaim their homeland.
A request for aid was sent from Viscount Clayman to the kingdom capital and the church. He is the one who rules over that region at present. For now, the lords surrounding the Dusker region have sent their armies to help suppress the uprising. However, they have sufficient troops, and strong ones at that. My worry is that there will be more unwarranted death. There have always been many in the Kingdom's army who believe the people of Duscur are foes and hate them because of it. You would think they'd refrain from squashing the rebels out of political expediency, but I doubt that will be the case. If the Kingdom's army and the rebel forces of Duscur collide, there is no doubt that the rebel forces will be annihilated. I'm afraid that's the best-case scenario. It could also turn into complete and bloody chaos for both sides.
Indeed.
Which brings me to my news. I have just now received the permission I requested from the church. I asked the church to deploy our class to help handle the situation.
So we may go?
Not so fast. We still have a responsibility as students of the Academy, after all. The only one who can truly make the decision as to whether or not we go is our professor. So, what do you say?
You have my most sincere gratitude.
And mine as well. But we must move fast. I will go and alert the others.
The Kingdom's vanguard has already arrived. Just as we'd feared, they far outclassed the Duscur forces. We cannot stand by and allow another massacre. But we cannot obstruct the Fargus army either. Our best hope is to force the troops of Duscur to withdraw before the Kingdom soldiers get to them.
The main body of the Kingdom's army is bound to arrive soon. Until then, let's aim to quell this uprising ourselves. Once the main force arrives, we will be out of options. We must move fast. It seems the Church and the Kingdom troops are not working together. My head hurts just thinking about it, but we may be able to use that. First, let's push Duscur to retreat. The Kingdom might then also withdraw without a fight.
Let us be quick about it.
I'll give it my all.
I give my all for
Leave it to me.
I'll cut through.
I'll crush them all.
I'll go. You're weak.
Go now, if you value your life.
But aren't you with Fargus? In any case, thank you.
What should I do?
Here we go.
Stay focused. Much needed.
Our grudge will not be settled.
Saw that coming.
No! Not good enough.
You can still get out of here. Run.
Too slow. Saw that coming.
Too easy.
You're not going to kill us? Ugh, I won't wait to find out. I'm leaving.
Safely away.
Split up between the east and the west, and advance. That'll put the squeeze on those Duscur animals in a hurry.
They are moving out. Time is of the essence now.
I won't allow it. I'll have your life for atonement, Kingslayer!
Heretics, what is it you think we have done? Filthy Dusker demons!
Of course I won.
Too easy.
A threat eliminated.
I must stay focused. I will get stronger yet.
Apologies.
It's not over yet.
Revenge for my...
Thank you.
Thank you. Weak. Sufficient.
Watch and learn.
Seems this area's done already.
Oh, thanks.
That is that. Another. Well done.
That was tough. I'll stick with...
The better to see. It's...
Not quite. Should I have held back?
Weak. Give up.
You are a man of Dusker. How can you make friends with our hated foes? Is it possible that you've lost your Dusker spirit?
Are you finished?
Is this how our dream ends?
I will check the status of the Kingdom's troops. To do, I leave the Dusker army to you.
Yes, Your Highness. Please be careful.
Why save us?
I will not abide the needless death of my own people.
You must know that as long as there is breath in me, I will fight.
Then fight, and be defeated. But so long as you pose no threat to His Highness, I will not end your life.
Idealistic fool. We will not relent. Not until we've taken back the homeland you monsters stole from us.
I share the same sentiment.
You, who sold his soul to Fargus.
His Highness has promised the people of Dusker a home. His will be a kingdom that is proud to harbor the blood of both Fargus and Dusker.
That's impossible. Don't be naive.
Believe what you will. But Fargus will change under his reign. That is my firm belief.
The Kingdom army has retreated to the fortress. There should be no further danger.
Prince of Fargus! You monster!
Can you still run? Then I suggest you do so now. Your people are waiting for you on the other side. Remain hidden from the Kingdom army.
May our paths cross again.
I certainly hope not. But remember this one thing. The people of Dusker never forget their grudges. Nor do they fail to honor favors.
Thank you, Your Highness, for accommodating my selfish request.
Think nothing of it. This was something I wished for as well. If you must give thanks, direct it at the church for allowing us to join the battle, and to our professor for leading the charge. It's about time we headed back. The professor and the others are waiting.
I am right behind you.
You're certainly not going easy on me. You fight like a mercenary, not a knight. You hunger for victory, pure and simple. You may not be aware of it yourself, but I see it. Indeed. Knights ought to have some hunger. I've always thought so. They depend too much on their swords. Only when they're wrested away do knights consider their hands and feet as weapons. That's not how it was for warriors of old. They weren't limited by their tools. Victory is what matters, not the method of achieving it. That's the attitude to adopt. I detect that in your style. It is plain to see. You may take it however you like. I believe the difference between us lies within that hunger. But where does it come from? From the start, I was aiming to win. Yet I couldn't defeat you. Then I remembered something you said before. Indeed. I was raised to value strength above all else. Whereas you had a reason, an ambition, pushing you toward that hunger. So tell me, what was the reason? Why were you driven to become so strong? That's a mercenary's answer, to be sure. So that is the source of your hunger. I suppose I must find my own. If we're to get along, I think not. I'll be content if you continue to train with me. Perhaps it will come to me as I swing my sword.
We still don't know where Flayn is. But we can't give up. Not until she's found.
Professor! Your Highness! I just heard a scream in Professor Yuritsa's quarters.
Yuritsa. Ah, the combat professor with the mask. He has always been rather suspicious. We must hurry.
Isn't that... Professor Manuela!
Professor Manuela! Please wake up! Professor Manuela!
She's still breathing, but she needs medical attention immediately.
Look! Do you see Professor Manuela's hand? It's like she's pointing at something.
I see it, behind that shelf. Could it be a secret passage?
What is the meaning of... Wait, is that Manuela? What happened here? We must take her to the infirmary immediately. You, don't just stand there. Help me carry her.
Of course. I'll return shortly, Professor.
Do you think this is related to Flayn's disappearance?
What should we do, Professor?
It looks dark. Dark in there.
Oh, you've always been scared of dark places, haven't you, Annie? But don't worry. The Professor and I will protect you.
There are sounds coming from within. If we're going to investigate, now is the time.
We'll be okay, I'm sure of it. Are you ready, Professor?
What is this place? It's so... Ah! I see someone. I think they're unconscious. Yes, I see Flayn. But who is this other person? Professor! Someone's coming from farther in. That scythe. Is that the knight who attacked the Holy Mausoleum?
That sword. You must be. One of us will die. The other will live. I will enjoy this dance of damnation.
That knight looks like death itself. We must rescue Flayn immediately. There's something strange about the flooring at the end of the corridor. Something might happen if you step there.
Stay focused. As expected.
If only my research had such results.
I'll crush them all.
I'll give it my all.
Leave it to me.
Here goes. That's my cue.
What should I do?
I will get the victory.
Oh no.
To work.
Such power. Practice you. It seems like.
You underestimated me. That helps.
Sufficient.
That worked out.
I can always depend on you.
Well done.
Some kind of contraption has been activated.
All for Lady Rhea.
Much appreciated. I must steel myself.
I will not be stopping.
It's time. Each battle, a chance to grow.
I'm good now.
That's how it goes.
Just like that. I had no choice.
Another one down.
Good idea.
Luck wasn't with you.
As expected.
Silenced.
Thank you.
The better to serve Lady Rhea.
I wonder how much more I can learn.
Now you will die together. How joyous.
Allow me to demonstrate. We must all do our part.
If only my research had such results.
Kill them.
Halt! You're having a bit too much fun.
You are getting in the way of my game.
Huh. You'll have more opportunities to play soon. Your work here is done.
Understood. I will go.
We will cross paths again. I am the Flame Emperor. It is I who will reforge the world.
Flame Emperor and the Death Knight? I have to say, they both looked very dangerous.
Where did they go? It doesn't matter. We need to get these two out of here.
Bring them up.
Thank goodness! Those girls are pale as ghosts, but at least they're alive. But that Death Knight person feels so familiar.
You found Flayn? Oh, thank goodness.
She was unconscious at the end of that secret passage. We found the culprit, too, but he got away.
I'm just grateful that everyone is safe. That's what matters most. I'd like to hear what transpired, but first, we need to get these ladies to the infirmary.
Understood. We'll go at once.
I'm sorry, Professor. I'm so relieved I suddenly felt weak. I couldn't be happier with how things turned out. And I imagine no one will be more overjoyed than Seteth. Hey, Professor. Can you make that expression one more time? I don't think I've ever seen your face like that. I apologize. I've forgotten myself and come dangerously close to teasing you. It's just... I've never seen you look so happy before. It's downright mesmerizing. But this isn't a time for idle chit-chat. We must hurry and share the good news with Seteth.
Professor, please allow me to express my eternal gratitude once more. Flayn is safe and sound, and I have you to thank for that. Mere words could never express how thankful I am. I am indebted to you. Yes, indeed. I too am overjoyed. Her kidnapper was the masked knight who vanished during the Rite of Rebirth, the one known as the Death Knight. Considering the circumstances, it seems plausible to assume that his true identity is Yaritza. And we cannot forget about the mysterious Flame Emperor. His true motives are yet unclear. However, I have an idea. I believe the enemy may have been after Flayn's blood. The blood that flows through her veins is special. It is extremely rare, and extremely dangerous. If enemies who know the secrets of Flayn's blood have appeared, our only option is to leave the monastery and go into hiding.
Brother, wait.
Flayn, what are you doing here? You should be resting.
I do not like the path of your thoughts. I do not wish to live in some lonely, remote location where I never get to see anyone. Not ever again.
If we stay here, you may be targeted again. Wouldn't it be better for the two of us to live in peace?
Even if we ran off to some new, secret location, there is no guarantee that they would not find us. That is why I believe it would be safest to stay in the monastery, where we are surrounded by capable knights and professors.
I see your point. I do. However...
You know it is the only reasonable option. What if I were to join the professor's class? You think so too? I am so very pleased to hear that. With a professor like you nearby, I shall be safe no matter what foe should appear.
I see. I am afraid you have a good point. Professor, due to my position, I have closely scrutinized everything about you. After all that has happened, I must admit that you are indeed a trusted ally. So what say you? Can I entrust you with Flayn's safety?
I am so glad that Flayn is safe. Yet I can't help but wonder what the story is about that other girl. She wore the uniform of the academy. But who is she?
Well done, Professor. I see that I was right to ask your class for assistance. I have been told that Manuela and Flayn are recovering nicely, as is Monica. Monica, the girl you rescued along with Flayn, is also a student of the Officers' Academy. However...
She is a student from last year's class. She went missing just before she would have graduated. It never occurred to us that something might have happened to her at the monastery. We assumed she had run away. I never dreamed that we would find her. Not like this.
Monica has asked to rejoin the Black Eagle House once she has fully recovered. Our enemies are still out there, so we must remain cautious and continue our investigation. However, we must also help the students to move on from this incident.
After all, the Battle of the Eagle and Lion will be held in Gronder Field next month.
Yes, the students will remember it for the rest of their lives. Please guide them so that they may show us their best at the coming battle.
So, you'll be going to Gronder Field next month. You've never been there before, have you? There is unease in the western side of the Empire, but everything east of the capital, Enbar, is stable. Well, there was a noble rebellion a short while ago, but it didn't amount to much. I have my own mission. The Church has always been quick to make use of those who work for them. What I'm more concerned about is finding out who among us is pulling the strings. Ever since the Rite of Rebirth, strange groups have been seen around Garreg Mach and elsewhere too. There was also an incident where some knights investigating these suspicious strangers turned up dead. Not that it's likely, but if something like that ever happens to me, search this room, every corner, behind every shelf. I'm going to leave something for you. Don't just nod solemnly. There's nothing to worry about. I'm just being cautious. Then again, I guess you're always solemn.